The history of timekeeping devices dates back to when ancient civilizations first observed astronomical bodies as they move across the sky. Devices and methods for keeping time have since then improved through a long series of new inventions and ideas. Sundials and water cloaks originated from ancient Egypt and were later used by Babylonians, the Greeks, and the Chinese. Medieval Islamic water cloaks were unrivaled in their sophistication until the mid-14th century. Incense cloaks, which may have been invented in India, were being used in China by the 6th century. The hourglass, one of the few reliable methods of measuring time at sea, was a European invention and does not seem to have been used in China before the mid-16th century. Wall cloaks have become new trends in home decor. There are several options of wall cloaks based on their materials of construction. For today, our focus is on metal wall cloak design ideas. Hello reviewers, welcome back to our channel. Today we have brought to you wall-mounted metal cloak design ideas for your inspiration. Watch the video until the end to never miss a thing and choose an inspiring design for your next project. You can even turn these plans or designs into a lucrative small-scale manufacturing business with a small initial investment on basic tools and materials. If you are new to the channel and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to our channel and smash the notification bell so that you'll be the first one to be notified when we upload new videos. If you are already a subscribed member, please like and share this video so that it could reach a wide range of audience. When we look at the history of wall clocks or timekeeping machines in general, in medieval Europe, purely mechanical cloaks were developed after the invention of the bell-striking alarm used to warn a man to toll the monastic bell. The weight-driven mechanical cloak controlled by the action of a verge and folioles was a synthesis of earlier ideas derived from European and Islamic science and one of the most important inventions in the history of the timekeeping. The most famous mechanical cloak was the designed and built by Henry de Vic in 1360 CE. For the next 300 years, all the improvements in timekeeping were essentially developments based on it. The invention of the mainspring in the early 15th century allowed small clocks to be built for the first time. From the 17th century, the discovery that clocks could be controlled by harmonic oscillators led to the most productive era in the history of timekeeping. Leonardo da Vinci had produced the earliest known drawings of a pendulum in 1493 to 1494, and in 1582 Galileo Galilei had investigated the regular swing of the pendulum, discovering that frequency was only dependent on length. The pendulum cloak, designed and built by Dutch polymath Christian Huygens in 1656, was so much more accurate than other kinds of mechanical timekeepers that few clocks have survived with their verge and foliote mechanisms intact. Other innovations in timekeeping during this period include inventions for striking clocks, the repeating clock, and the deadbeat escapement. Errors in early pendulum clocks were eclipsed by those caused by temperature variation, a problem tackled during the 18th century by the English clockmakers John Harrison and George Graham. Only the invention of Invar in 1895 eliminated the need for such innovations. From the 18th century, a succession of innovations and inventions led to timekeeping devices becoming increasingly accurate. following the Sicily naval disaster of 1706-07, after which governments offered a prize to anyone who could discover a way to determine longitude. Harrison built a succession of accurate timepieces. The electric clock, invented in 1840, was used to control the most accurate pendulum clocks until the 1940s, when quartz timers became the basis for the precise measurement of time and frequency. The wristwatch, which had been recognized as a valuable military tool during the Boer War, became a symbol of masculinity and bravado after World War I. During the 20th century, the non-magnetic wristwatch, battery-driven watches, the quartz wristwatch, and transistors and plastic parts were all invented. The most accurate timekeeping devices in practical use today are atomic clocks, which can be accurate to within a few billionths of a second per year. They are used to calibrate other clocks and timekeeping instruments. Ancient civilizations observed astronomical bodies, often the sun and moon, to determine time. All timekeepers before the 13th century relied upon methods that used something that moved continuously. No early method of keeping time changed at a steady rate. Devices and methods for keeping time have improved continuously through a long series of new inventions and ideas. Shadow clocks and sundials. The first devices used for measuring the position of the sun were shadow clocks, which later developed into sundial. Egyptian obelisks constructed 3500 BC are among the earliest shadow clocks. The oldest of all known sundials dates back to 1500 BC during the 19th dynasty and was discovered in the Valley of the Kings in 2013. Obelisks could indicate whether it was morning or afternoon, as well as the summer and winter solstices. A kind of shadow clock was developed in 500 BC that was similar in shape to a T-square, a bent T-square. It measured the passage of time by the shadow cast by its crossbar and was oriented eastward in the mornings and turned it around at noon, so it could cast its shadow in the opposite direction. Water cloaks. The oldest description of a clepsydra or water cloak is from the tomb inscription of an early 18th dynasty around 1500 BC. Egyptian court official named Amenemhet, who is identified as its inventor. It is assumed that the object described on the inscription is a bowl with markings to indicate the time. The oldest surviving water cloak was found in the tomb of Pharaoh Amenhotep III in around 1417 to 1379 BC. There are no recognized examples in existence of outflowing water cloaks from ancient Mesopotamia of outflowing water cloaks, but written references have survived. Chinese incense cloaks. Incense cloaks were first used in China around the 6th century, mainly for religious purposes, but also for social gatherings or by scholars. Due to their frequent use in Devanagari characters, American sinologist Edward H. Schaffer has speculated that incense cloaks were invented in India. As incense burns evenly and without a flame, the cloaks were safe for indoor use. To mark different hours, differently scented incenses made from different recipes were used. The incense sticks used could be straight or spiraled. The spiraled ones were intended for long periods of use and often hang from the roofs of homes and temples. Some clocks were designed to drop weights at even intervals. Astrolabs. Sophisticated timekeeping astrolabs with geared mechanisms were made in Persia. Examples include those built by Polymaus Aburayan Biruni in the 11th century and by astronomer Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr al-Faris in 2021. A brass and silver astrolabe, which also acts as a calendar, made in Isfahan by al-Farisi, is the earliest surviving machine with its gears still intact. Openings on the back of the astrolabe depict the lunar phases and give the moon's age. Within a zodiacal scale are two concentric rings that show the relative positions of the sun and the moon. Muslim astronomers constructed a variety of highly accurate astronomical clocks for use in their mosques and observatories, such as the Astrolabic cloak by Ibn al-Shahiti in the early 14th century. Candle clocks and hourglasses. One of the earliest references to a candle clock is in a Chinese poem written in 520 by Yu Jianfu, who wrote the graduated candle being a means of determining time at night. Similar candles were used in Japan until the early 10th century. The invention of the candle clock was attributed by Anglo-Saxons to Alfred the Great, King of Wessex, who used 6 candles marked at intervals of 1 inch or 25 millimeters, each made from 12 penny weights of wax and made to be 12 centimeters or 4.7 inch high and of a uniform thickness. The hourglass, one of the few reliable methods of measuring time at sea, and it has been speculated that it was used on board ships as far back as the 11th century, when it would have complemented the compass and aid to navigation. The earliest unambiguous evidence of the use of an hourglass appears in the painting Allegory of Good Government by the Italian artist Amborio Lorenzetti from 1338. Well, dear viewers, enough about the history of timekeeping devices. We will get back to the rest of the history in our future videos. For now, as you can see in the video, we have compiled a number of interesting metal wall clock design ideas for your inspiration. Which one is your favorite and why? Let us know in the comment section. By now you know that our channel is full of inspiring videos which you can use in your projects from time to time. If you like our content, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, and also smash the notification bell so that you'll be the first one to be notified when we upload new videos. Thank you for watching until the end. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed.